The restaurant was full, 40 customers, waiters serving, music playing, everything normal except table 7, 8 men in expensive suits, not eating, just watching the kitchen door, waiting for Bumpy Johnson. They'd paid the chef $20,000 to poison every plate heading to Bumpy's table. The poison was undetectable, tasteless, deadly within an hour. But what they didn't know was that Bumpy Johnson had been suspicious of everyone since he was 15 years old. And suspicious men don't eat first. March 3rd, 1953. Chez Antoine, the finest French restaurant in Harlem. The night 8 professional killers learned that poisoning Bumpy Johnson was easier planned than executed. Chez Antoine was Bumpy's favorite spot. He ate there every Tuesday night. Same table, table 12 in the back corner. View of the entrance, back to the wall. Old habits from decades of survival. The restaurant was owned by Chef Antoine Barbier, a French immigrant who'd come to Harlem in 1945 with nothing. Bumpy had bankrolled his restaurant, protected it from extortion, made sure health inspectors looked the other way when needed. Antoine owed Bumpy everything, which made what happened that night even more complicated. February 28th, 5 days before the poisoning, 8 men walked into Antoine's kitchen after closing time. They weren't there for food. The leader was named Vincent Corso, Genevieve's family, mid-level captain trying to make a name. Chef Barbier, Vincent said, setting a briefcase on the prep table. We have a business proposition. Antoine's hands were shaking. Men like this didn't make friendly propositions. I'm not interested in... Vincent opened the briefcase. Cash. Stacks of it. $20,000. All you have to do is add a special ingredient to Bumpy Johnson's meal next Tuesday. Antoine went pale. You want me to poison Mr. Johnson? We want you to get rich. What happens to Johnson is not your concern. Vincent pulled out a small vial, clear liquid, tasteless, odorless, undetectable. You put 10 drops in his food, any dish, he eats. In 45 minutes, he has a heart attack. Natural causes. No one suspects anything. You take the money, we take care of the problem. Mr. Johnson has been good to me. Mr. Johnson is a criminal, Vincent interrupted. He's going to die eventually. This way, you get paid. You refuse, and maybe your restaurant has an unfortunate accident. Gas leak, fire, these things happen. Antoine looked at the money, at the vial, at the 8 men surrounding him. He took the vial. March 3rd, 7:30 p.m. Bumpy arrived at Chez Antoine in his Cadillac. Illinois Gordon was driving, 2 other men in the back for security. Want us inside, boss? Illinois asked. Not tonight. I'm just having dinner. Pick me up at 9:30. Bumpy walked in. The maitre d' greeted him warmly. Mr. Johnson, your table is ready. But as Bumpy walked through the restaurant, he noticed something. Table 7, 8 men, expensive suits, not eating, not drinking, just sitting, watching. Bumpy had survived 38 years in the criminal world by noticing things other people missed. And these 8 men were wrong, too alert, too focused, not acting like diners. He reached his table, sat down. Antonio emerged from the kitchen personally to greet him. Mr. Johnson, welcome. I have prepared something special tonight. Bumpy looked at Antoine's face. The chef was sweating, not kitchen heat sweating, nervous sweating. His hands trembled slightly. His eyes wouldn't meet Bumpy's. Antoine, Bumpy said quietly, everything all right? Of course, Mr. Johnson. Just busy night, very busy. Antoine's voice cracked slightly. Bumpy glanced back at table 7. The 8 men were still watching. One of them nodded slightly to Antoine. In that moment, Bumpy understood everything. The nervous chef, the watching men, the special preparation. Antoine, those gentlemen at table 7, friends of yours? Antoine's face went white. They're just customers. Have they ordered? Not yet. They said they were waiting for their business to conclude. Bumpy smiled. I see. Tell you what, Antoine, why don't you prepare your special meal for them first? They look hungry. I can wait. But Mr. Johnson, I prepared this specifically for... I insist, Bumpy said, his voice hardening slightly. They're guests. Guests eat first. That's proper etiquette, isn't it? Antoine's hands were shaking badly now. Sir, I really think you should. Bumpy leaned forward, lowered his voice so only Antoine could hear. How much did they pay you? Antoine's eyes filled with tears. He couldn't speak. How much, Antoine? 20,000, Antoine whispered. They threatened to burn down my restaurant. I had no choice. You always have a choice, Bumpy said. But what's done is done. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go back to that kitchen. You're going to prepare 8 plates of whatever you poisoned, and you're going to serve it to those 8 gentlemen. Understand? Mr. Johnson, I can't. You can and you will. Because right now, those men think you poisoned my food. They're waiting for me to eat and die. Instead, they're going to eat and learn a lesson. Now go. Antoine stumbled back to the kitchen. Bumpy stood up, walked over to table 7. All 8 men looked up. Vincent Corso smiled. Mr. Johnson, we were hoping to meet you. Were you? Bumpy pulled out a chair, sat down, uninvited. What brings you gentlemen to my favorite restaurant? Just business. We heard the food here is to die for. Interesting choice of words. Bumpy folded his hands on the table. You know, I've been coming here for 8 years, never seen you before. Yet here you are, all 8 of you, not eating, not drinking, just waiting. Vincent's smile faded slightly. We were waiting for our food. Ah yes, the food. Chef Antoine is preparing something very special. In fact, he's preparing it right now. For you. We didn't order yet. Oh, but I ordered for you. The house special. Everything the chef recommended. You're gonna love it. I insist you try everything. The 8 men exchanged glances, uncertain. 5 minutes later, waiters brought out 8 plates. Steak, roasted potatoes, vegetables, wine. The full meal Antoine had prepared. Gentlemen, Bumpy said, gesturing to the food. Please, eat. Vincent looked at the food, looked at Bumpy. That's generous, but we can order for ourselves. I insist. You came to my favorite restaurant. You're my guests. It would be rude if you didn't eat. One of the 8 men reached for his fork. Vincent stopped him. We're fine. We'll order later. Bumpy's voice dropped, cold, dangerous. You're going to eat what's in front of you, every bite, or I'm going to call my men outside, and we're going to have a very different conversation. The restaurant had gone quiet. Other diners were watching now, sensing tension. Vincent stared at Bumpy, understanding slowly dawning. You knew. I've survived this long by knowing. Now eat. The food is poisoned. Yes, I know. Chef Antoine told me everything. $20,000. Undetectable poison. Very professional. Except you made one mistake. You thought Antoine was more afraid of you than he was loyal to me. You were wrong. Vincent's hand moved toward his jacket. Bumpy didn't flinch. Your gun won't help you. We're in a crowded restaurant. 40 witnesses. My men are outside. You shoot me, you die. You don't eat, you die. You eat, you die. Those are your options. One of the 8 men stood up. I'm leaving. Sit down, Bumpy said quietly. Or my men come in and nobody leaves. The man sat. Bumpy stood up. Here's what's going to happen. You 8 are going to eat every bite of that poisoned food. You're going to finish your wine, and then you're going to walk out of here and drive straight to the hospital. If you're lucky, they can pump your stomachs in time. If not, well, you should have chosen a different profession. You're insane, Vincent said. You're making us eat poison? No, you brought the poison. You paid for it. You intended it for me. I'm just returning it to the rightful owners. Now eat, or I'll make you eat it. For 10 seconds, nobody moved. Then Vincent picked up his fork. His hand shook. He cut a piece of steak, put it in his mouth, chewed slowly, swallowed. The other 7 followed, one by one, eating the poison meal they had prepared for Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy watched, calm, patient, making sure every plate was clean. 15 minutes later, the 8 men had finished. Their faces were pale, sweating. How long did the poison take? One of them asked, voice shaking. Antoine said 45 minutes. You've got about 30 left. I suggest you drive fast. All 8 men stood up, stumbled toward the exit. Vincent stopped at the door, looked back at Bumpy. This isn't over. Yes, it is. Tell your bosses that Bumpy Johnson doesn't die easy, and anyone who tries ends up eating their own poison. Now go. Clock's ticking. They ran out, car engines started, tires squealed. Bumpy walked back to his table, sat down. Antoine approached, tears running down his face. "Mr. Johnson, I'm so sorry. They threatened everything I know, Antoine, and I forgive you, but you owe me. $20,000 you took from them, that's mine now. You work off that debt, and you never, ever betray me again. Understand?" "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I swear on my life." "Your life is already sworn to me. Now go make me dinner, something clean this time." Antoine rushed to the kitchen. Bumpy ordered the veal, ate slowly, enjoyed his wine. By 9:30, Illinois picked him up as planned. "How was dinner, boss?" "Educational, very educational." The 8 men made it to the hospital. Doctors pumped their stomachs, saved 7 of them. 1 didn't make it. Vincent Corso died in the emergency room at 10:15 p.m. Heart attack brought on by the poison. The Genovese family never tried to poison Bumpy Johnson again. Word spread fast. The man who'd ordered a hit on Bumpy had died from his own plan. And Chef Antoine? He kept cooking at Chez Antoine for the next 20 years. Never missed a Tuesday dinner with Bumpy. Never charged him a cent. The debt was paid in loyalty. March 3rd, 1953. The night 8 men learned that you can't poison someone who's always 3 steps ahead. And you definitely can't poison someone who knows your chef better than you do. If this story moved you, smash that subscribe button. Drop a like if you believe karma works faster when Bumpy Johnson is involved. Share this with someone who needs to know that betrayal always comes back around. What would you have done if you were the chef? Let me know in the comments. More legendary stories coming next. Don't miss them.